Good evening to everyone in India. Hi, Bill. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So, everyone, I want to introduce you to Bill Jeffers. He's the Assistant Director, Professional and Alumni Career Services at Clarkson University and has very kindly agreed to start his Friday morning with us. We're going to ask him a few questions and really get his understanding on how international students can benefit from the career services, which is, I think, one of the key factors for any international student when they look out for a study opportunity or look out for a university. One of the criteria is career services, and I know Clarkson has a really good one. So, welcome again, Bill. Thank you again for being a part of this web talk. Do you want to start by telling us something about yourself?
So again, my name is Bill Jeffers. I'm actually an alum of Clarkson, so I know how the process works. I love the university, and I really appreciate what it has become and the different programs that we've added through the years. We do our best to evolve to the needs of the student population. So that's why we're here.
That's wonderful. Having an alum speaking now on the other side can really share both the sides of the story. So that's really great. Thank you. Um,
Absolutely.
right. So, Bill, my first question is, or the first thing that I want to understand for the benefit of international students, are the key services that the Career Center offers to its international students?
Sure. With all of our students, but particularly with the international student population, we want to get to know, everybody's different, and everybody has come from a different place, and they're looking to go somewhere a little different. And so we want to, really get to know our students and what those needs are. So we have seminars. We're built into on the undergraduate side, there's a first year seminar that students participate in that we're a part of. And so we're making sure that, whether it's undergraduate, graduate students, we're meeting them and interacting with them as early on in the process as possible because, we want to get to know them, but also where they want to go, there's steps that need to happen along the way. So we want to make sure we get to that as quickly as possible.
Okay. So, when you say as soon after the orientation week, when they kind of settle in, they should start coming to the career services and register themselves?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. We're a part of the orientation process, and then we encourage students to set up. We have open hours throughout the week, but then also you can
Okay.
schedule one-on-one appointments with us, and whether that's in person or virtual, depending on your situation, whatever works best for you. But yes, the earlier you engage the Career Center in your process, especially with how we do things, the better it's going to go moving forward.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you so much. And how does the university support international students to gain internships, co-ops, or even full-time job opportunities after the completion of their program?
Absolutely. So yes, internships are a key component. On the undergraduate side, Clarkson requires that students have a professional experience, and internships are a key part of that. And so, again, first it's getting to know the visa status and what what our parameters are to work from, and then we go from there as far as whether it's an opportunity, on campus in the area, back home over the summer where they're from, whatever, again, their criteria are. We're pretty well versed in figuring out what makes sense. We also have a very strong alumni network, both with our domestic and international students. And so we're able to leverage that as well.
Okay.
So regardless of where you came from or where you're looking to go, we likely have at least a handful of folks who are there who we can reach out to, connect you with, and talk about that process. Because we leverage our alumni network pretty heavily, and they are because of that, it's a pay it forward kind of situation. Our students, our alumni benefited from the alumni network when they were students. So now as alums, they want to do the same.
Okay. Great. Thank you. And does the university help with base level services like resume reviews, mock interviews? I know networking workshops you already do, but what about
Mhm.
the other base level or foundation level assistance that's required by students?
So there's a couple different ways to go about this. I mean, we do have our career services web portal service is Handshake.
Okay.
And so we have some basic kind of tutorials and things like that in there. But yes, some of those first appointments that we're meeting with students, we're talking through resume and CV and cover letters and all of that. And then when it gets to career fairs and interviews and things like that, we have workshops and one-on-ones for preparing them for that. I actually just met with a student yesterday who's got an interview today, and so they wanted to make sure. So we ran through some sample interview questions, but also I did some research ahead of time on the company they're interviewing with, get a feel for the types of questions that they might ask and things like that. So again, it's a tailored process as much as possible. The more information, obviously, that the student gives us about what they're looking to do and what they've done so far, obviously that benefits us. But yeah, it all starts with the resume, and obviously there's nuances, the resumes in the US versus other countries and things like that. So we tackle that early on, make sure their documents are in order, and then help them take those next steps.
Wow. I think this is fantastic because, this is a good starting point for any international student. And as you rightly pointed out, culturally, things are written differently in every country. So the resume format is different. The language used is very, very different. This is very helpful. Thank you. The next thing I want to know is the next step, So does the university help in organizing career fairs or employer meetups, anything of that order?
Absolutely. So our two biggest events a year are our career fairs. We have one in the September timeframe that's usually about 200 companies come to campus. And then February, we just had one that had about 130 companies. So, and those, when I say that, that means those are companies that are, all over the country, all over the world. They are coming to our campus in Potsdam, New York, to meet with our students. So they understand, these are anywhere from first-year students all the way through PhDs. So they understand that they are, they might be entry level. They may have a certain set of skills. They know that they know that you don't have 10 years of experience already. That's why they're coming to Clarkson, to get access to these students as early on as possible. So the career fairs are the biggest events, but then we do absolutely encourage companies to come back and do some smaller, kind of more intimate, career fair events are great for talking to hundreds of people for 30 seconds at a time and kind of identifying things. But let's come back. The companies come back and we facilitate events with our clubs and organizations. Our graduate student association is one, certainly international student associations, and the different, the cultural organizations as well. So those are great connection points to make. And then beyond that, actually the end of next week, we have a group of students who is coming down to the capital region in New York to do some employer visits. So actually bringing them on site to those employers, learning about what they do, meeting, key folks and things like that. But really getting a picture in your head of, okay, I'm going to be a civil engineer. What does that mean? And so now they're seeing it really. And again, making those touch points because, as an international student, you have a number of different variables you're dealing with. So the more you can know ahead of time as far as what the job looks like, what skills those employers are looking for, things like that, the easier the process is going to be.
Wow, that's great. 150 and 200 companies is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool to see those numbers of employers coming to really get access to our students.
Yeah, absolutely. The next thing I want to understand is the resources, what kind of career resources are available to students, because I'm sure at every stage of their academic journey, various academic resources will be helpful. So what are the kind of resources which are available at the university?
So there's a variety. Again, early on in the process, we have a number of different services and websites that we work with as far as identifying, what do I want to be when I grow up? Those kinds of resources just early on. And then we have a number of things also with, okay, now I know what I want to do, what companies do that. And so, getting onto some national, international databases of organizations. We are also in talks with a company called Interstride.
Mm-hmm.
That is their focus, is creating connections in the international community. So that's a resource we'll be able to bring on board soon. So really it's wherever you are in the process, we can help you personally, but then there also are those resources online within Handshake, and then Interstride coming on board soon here, where you're able to specifically target what you're looking for and what part of the process you're in, and then we have those resources. But at the end of the day, where we start is that personal interaction. Come meet with us. Let's talk through your situation and what your interests are, because then we've done this before, so we can help steer you in that right direction. We don't want to just send you to a website and say, good luck. That's not what we're all about. Where we are about that personal connection and identifying what you need.
Yeah, I think personal connection, that's the key. That's something really that international students look for. Great. And the last thing I want to know is your top advice to international students, whether it's about networking or making the best use of career services. What is your top advice? And if you have an example to share with us of how you kind of mentored a student and a success story, I think that will be very, very helpful.
So I think, and again, on my side, I've worked a lot with graduate students, and heavy international population in that area. And I think it's twofold. I think it's identifying, kind of, again, what your end goal is and what the key skills are that those companies, employers, research institutions, whatever it is, are looking for. Because there's a lot you can learn in college, especially at Clarkson. And so identifying those key skills and things early on, and then obviously reaching out to folks and saying, this is what I'm interested in, how can you help, or what, we recommend students do that at career fairs, even on the early side. I know I'm a first year student, you may not be ready to hire me as an intern. What should I be doing over the next 12 months to make me a more attractive internship candidate? And so that's what we see. Those success stories are when those students come see us, get to those career fairs. And I'll be honest, as a Clarkson student, I don't think I went to career fair till junior year. So, I was 2 years behind everybody else who had been going, their first year and reaching out to those companies. And those employers remember too, you come back to those career fairs year after year, and, I've seen you here before. Okay, that's good. That persistence, that connection is important. And you've got something new to say each time. It's not just, hey, are you hiring? Hey, are you hiring? It's, this is what I've done since the last time we spoke. And you mentioned, skills in XYZ would be beneficial. Well, I took a course on that last semester, and now I have that. And those employers see that and say, okay, I gave them an assignment and they completed it, and they're not even working for me yet. So those are those kinds of connections that we highly recommend our students get. And so of all the success stories that we've had, that's it, is they start early on, they make personal connections with these employers, and they move forward. And even the networking within the student population and our international student population in particular, it's sharing those resources. I talk to a company, it's not a perfect fit for me, but it might be for you.
Right.
And those employers and those students really appreciate that connection. And we're not a huge school. We're a nice, close-knit community. And so we're able to have those relationships with our faculty and our staff and our students. And that's why people come to Clarkson, is the relationships they build, the connections they make, and then the success they have afterward.
Wow. Sorry, absolutely brilliant. I think every advice that you have given is going to be so useful to international students, and I really hope they can make use of all the information you have given. And I think the key is start from the beginning and make career services your friend. Be there at every career fair or every event, even if you are in the first year of your degree or you're a freshman, because like you mentioned, employers remember, they see your commitment, and that's going to be very, very useful for them in the long run.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, Bill. It was such a pleasure speaking to you. I really want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. I look forward to how this goes and working with any of your prospective students in the future.
Absolutely. We would definitely love to connect you with more prospective students, and let's see how it goes from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.